Good morning, everybody. My name is Barry Schwartz, and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, September 18th, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com. Lot to discuss. There was lots of Google fluctuations towards the end of this week. That was really interesting and different than usual fluctuations, so stay tuned for that. There was top stories indexing bugs. There was a Search Console reporting bug, and there was an ongoing Google Discover look somewhat of a bug. So more on that a little bit later as well. And then John Mueller talked about with me about how Google Broad Core updates work and how a lot more detail around that, plus a lot more. So stay tuned. Okay, so first up, like I was discussing, it seems like there was a pretty big Google update on September 15th, 16th, 17th, and a little bit even through today. According to the search ranking tools, the ones that track these tool sets, the tool sets that actually track the Google ranking fluctuations and changes there. Which is interesting is that the chatter was not, or is still not, at levels of what you would see with these tracking tool changes. So it's pretty interesting to see this. The tools themselves are spiking a lot, but the chatter again is not that much. Even this morning, there's definitely fluctuations there in the tools themselves, and there is more chatter. Some people think that Google made some feature changes, like there's less reviews showing up, or there was a spike also around site link changes where they were gone for one day, came back. So I'm not sure if it was some type of Google bug. There were some people that actually confirm ranking changes. I'm not sure if it's at the scale of normal Google updates, but maybe it hit a specific type of niche. Maybe it hit a specific type of action. Maybe it was a temporary bug. I'm not sure, but there definitely seems to have been a certain type of Google search ranking update, big, unconfirmed by Google. And I have two posts about it, one on September 17th and one on the day before. So definitely take a look at that. Also, over the weekend, I think Friday evening, a week ago, Google confirmed there was a top stories indexing bug that lasted for about 4 hours. On Friday night, Google said we had an indexing issue with news articles appearing in top stories beginning around 3 p.m. Pacific time. We've now fixed this, though the full restoration will take several hours, and then Google confirmed that by 7 p.m. Pacific, it was resolved that day. So if you had any indexing or ranking issues and traffic issues around that time, and you are in top stories a lot, that is probably why. There's been this ongoing Google Discover traffic drop since August 10th. And the same date that August 10th was when there was a big Google indexing glitch or search glitch, which showed really weird search results. And since then, there's a number of very highly vocal people in the publishing world that said they have been getting zero traffic from Google Discover. Now, after I wrote this article on September 16th, there have been a number of people that came back to me and said, after you wrote that article, our traffic with Google Discover has been coming back. But it's not. I don't think it's fully fledged yet, and Google has not confirmed this. They did discuss they're looking into this, so maybe they resolved it. But if you are having issues with Google Discover recently, since August 10th specifically, you might be in this bunch of people that had these issues. I had a double conversation with John Mueller around Google Broad Core updates and recoveries around that. So I don't know, about I think September 8th or so. No, September 4th. Yeah, September 4th. John Mueller said you can recover from a Google Core update, a Google Broad Core update, before Google runs the next Google Broad Core update. Now, Google's been kind of hinting at that on some level where you can see incremental small changes, but a full recovery, according to pretty much every single SEO I've ever spoken to, is impossible when you get hit by a Google Broad Core update. You need Google to run another Google Broad Core update for you to recover from a Google Broad Core update fully. Now, John Mueller said that's not true. You can recover from a Broad Core update. It's possible to recover from a Google Broad Core update before a Google Broad Core update fully. Now, he said there are some cases where it's not possible, that a new update has to run, but you could definitely make a lot of changes to your site because the scores themselves within the Broad Core update algorithms, whatever that means, are regularly updated, unlike the old Panda and Penguin days where you would need a Penguin and Panda and Penguin update to run to refresh those scores. In this case, the scores that are making up this core Broad update are updated regularly throughout, constantly. And not like in real time, but constantly, like maybe every couple days, every whatever. And because of that, that's how it works. And sites can recover between Google Core Update releases. And again, that regular thing where they're updating scores is very interesting. That's a new little point. And Google's John Mueller said in some situations we do require a new core update to be released to have a site refreshed fully. But he definitely said in a lot of cases you can fully recover between core updates. So definitely take a look at that. Very interesting conversation I had with him, and I posted that on September 14th at seroundtable.com. There was some issues with the Google's Search Console's coverage report. It is now back up to date with new information and so forth, but it was pretty much dead from, I think, August 31st, September 1st, through September 13th. Now, the issue with that is that Google specifically said they fixed the issue, but the issue with that is that the chart from September 1st through September 13th shows exactly the same data every single day. So it looks like Google kind of backfilled that information, but it didn't look like they actually fixed the data, because why would the data be exactly the same for that like 13-day period? It seems weird. But Google said the data is accurate and fixed. Google is going to be dropping the crawl anomalies tool or report that shows you that data, and SEOs are pretty much happy with it. And John Mueller basically said they're going to replace it with something more actionable, more useful. So I'm looking forward to that when it gets moved over. Google's John Mueller, basically said they treat most affiliate links as if they have no follows. And this has been going on since before they had the no follow attribute. Back in the early days of SEO, affiliate links would be not really counted by Google, either because of 302 redirects or other mentions. They must have some type of database of like popular, Commission Junction and Linkshare and Amazon affiliate URLs, and just exclude those and say those should not pass any value. But the messaging around no affiliate links and no following them or rel sponsoring them has been around for a long time, and it's no question that Google probably treats most of those affiliate links as being no followed. Google announced that in November they're going to start crawling some sites over HTTP2, the next generation of HTTP. It's going to start slowly and will be ramped up, and if your site supports it, not only your site has to support it, and Google has to see a benefit from doing so, and then Google will start crawling your website over HTTP2. So that's very interesting. There is no ranking benefit towards it, but it should help you. It should help you actually rank with efficiency, meaning Google will be able to more efficiently crawl your website using HTTP2 because it opens up less TCP connections, which would be more efficient. And if you have a really large site, it might actually help you with bandwidth and other server resource issues. Also, Gary from Google said he wants feedback from you if you are aware of any site commands that report any widely inaccurate accounts. SEOs forever have been saying the site command is off, but if it's like 10% off or more, Gary wants that information, and he could use that maybe to debug it and make it even better. We will see. Google is testing or showing featured snippets with how-to schema right next to it, or as part of the same feature snippet. Very interesting. I've never seen two of these put together. I'll share a screenshot so you can actually see that. There was a study of some sorts released by an SEO company called Red Boot Online that basically concluded that cheap hosting with a bunch of really low-quality websites on that host could actually negatively impact your rankings on Google. Now, there's a lot of data on it, really interesting study, but John Mueller from Google said, not the case, not happening, doesn't work that way. The study is not that great, he basically said. And he said, you don't have to be on a really expensive host to rank well. You could be on a cheap host as well and rank pretty well. And he used Blogger as an example. So definitely take a look at that study and John Mueller's comments. Very interesting. Google My Business Insights section, where you can actually see how much traffic you're getting from photos and views and so forth, has been stuck since August 31st, similar to the Search Console issue. It's still not fixed, so I'm not sure what's going on with that, but hopefully they'll fix it soon. Google is launched actually an online therapy kind of search box where it helps you find therapists that are supported and covered by your insurance provider. So if you do a search on mobile for therapy, you'll get this little box feature that says find care options from your insurance. That's pretty cool. Google Ads has created a new ad destination report. The new Google Ad destination report basically gives you a better understanding of how to understand if your customers are converting on your website or not. So you can definitely take a look at that report to help you with your Google Ads campaigns. Google Shopping has launched new features around helping you shop safer in stores or out of stores, but by giving you a new nearby feature, as well as by offering you options to say, hey, what time does the store open? Do they offer curbside pickup, in-store pickup, delivery, and so forth? So definitely take a look at that. It's a new feature, or new features are being promoted by Google Shopping. Google Merchant Center has announced by the end of this month, they will be adding a new feature to let you control how Google actually helps you define where your products are available. There's an additional country setting. We talked about this about a month ago, where you can actually exclude certain countries in your feed, but now you have to kind of include certain countries in your feed, and Google's going to auto-populate that based on certain information they have already. So definitely take a look at that if you're looking at if you have that. And also on the Google AdSense side, they're now letting you define if you want to allow Google to use first-party cookies on your website, which according to Google could actually increase your ad revenue, of course, but there are some limitations to that. So definitely take a look at that. That pretty much recaps the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz. Today is September 18th. For all those who are celebrating Rosh Hashanah, have a happy, healthy, successful new year, and wishing you the best. Everyone have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next. Goodbye.